Right.
Black women been raising 70% of the kids for 50 years by themselves. What you expect her to act like? She been doing your job and hers for 50 years, and you want her to get down on all fours and say, yes, massa.
Real life.
It ain't real life. Just ain't real. Real life street stars. You know what time it is.
Right? So in sociology, we have the generation recidivism theory. You will be exactly like your great-grandfather if your parents don't do something different in the way they raise you. You understand? We also know that you can pass down trauma intergenerationally without having gone through the experience. Yeah, you can teach trauma. You could come in here and say you got hit by a car and I wasn't there, but the way you describe it, the way you emote it, I will take on your trauma myself. You see what I'm saying? If the mother has anxiety disorder, the daughter going to have anxiety disorder because she's going to learn it from her mother. My great-great-great-grandfather was a slave. George Washington Bailey, first black public school teacher, Denton, Maryland, cousin of Frederick Douglass. He had him and my grandmother Annie, had my grandmom Caroline, Grandma Vivian married Grandpop Cicero. They had Grandma Ida. Grandma Ida married Grandpop James Johnson. They had my father. Married my mother, they had me. We 6 generations away from slavery, bro.
6.
That's it.
That's it.
My great-great-great-grandfather was a slave. He was in the Civil War. We're only 6 generations away. Slavery was not that long ago.
It wasn't.
You could find elders. We got elders walking the earth who grandparents were slaves. It wasn't that long ago. They want you to think it was a long time ago so they could try to make it irrelevant. Everything we go through now is based on slavery. Every problem black people have is based on slavery.
Right. So how do I get my racial ego back? I mean, yeah.
That has to come back with the group. And as Frederick Douglass said, it's better to raise strong children than to repair broken men. So I believe we only do that by raising the next generation of children properly. We got to raise the next generation of boys and girls the way that they're supposed to be raised. You follow me?
Yeah.
Trying to put a positive racial ego back into African people is going to be almost impossible if you're working with adults. Because people don't change. Do you know that most people go to therapy will never get better? Most depressed, anxious, bipolar, borderline, schizophrenic, eating problems. Most of them will be the way they are to the way that till they die.
Yeah, they can suppress it.
Only 15% benefit from therapy. You feel me? These are people who want to change and they still fall short. So what makes you think you're going to change a whole race who've been behaving dysfunctionally for 159 years?
So let me ask.
Start with the children.
Yeah,
Start with the children. Frederick Douglass said it's better to raise strong children than to repair broken men.
This could be controversial, and well, it is. When it comes to teaching slavery in school, do you think we should stop teaching slavery to see America who doesn't remember that, or should we always teach the traumas that we had as slaves and to young third graders?
If you don't know where you've been, how do you know where you're going?
Could you teach hate, though?
I don't believe so. This is what I tell people. They said the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, you're going to teach black children in history, yes. How are you going to make sure they don't hate white people? That's not my responsibility.
Come on.
That's not my responsibility.
Come on.
And you have black parents who will deny their children a knowledge of self because they love white people so much that they don't want their kids to dislike white people. That's insane. Do you think there's a Jew who gives a damn if their children dislike Germans after finding out about the Holocaust? Who cares about how my oppressor feels about my children learning about their oppression? I don't care. But let me give you this. I don't have a dog in the public school teaching racism fight because I don't believe it's the public school's job to teach our kids who they are anyway. You understand me?
Yeah.
So when Ron DeSantis in Florida said we taking out slavery, I don't give a damn because y'all shouldn't be teaching our kids who they are. The community should be teaching their children who they are. I don't want white women teaching black kids who they are. I don't want white men teaching black kids who they are because they can damage your child's interpretation of their history. If a snow bunny gives my daughter Harriet Tubman, if a snow bunny gives my daughter Winnie Mandela, if a snow bunny gives my daughter Queen Nzinga or Ya Asantewa or the Agogie warriors of Benin. If a snow puppy give my son Garvey, Douglas, Booker T, Carter G. Woodson, George Washington Carver, Toussaint L'Ouverture, if a white man gives my son knowledge of self, he can destroy the way my son sees himself.
Oh, man.
You never give your enemy the power to interpret your children's memory for them. See, here's the problem with us. We got so used to white people doing everything for us that we don't want to do nothing for ourselves. And we've gotten so bad, we don't even know what we should be doing for ourselves versus what we should be fighting them to do. You should not be fighting them to teach your kids who they are. You should not be fighting them to teach your kids who you are. That's your damn job. Do we got to fight them for the criminal justice system? Hell yeah. Police brutality? Hell yeah. But fighting them to teach your kids their history when they don't even know it or care about it? You got a church on every other corner. Why can't the black church give out free black history lessons once a week? Because all they care about is money. That's why.
Oh, that's church is a different question. So, Dr. Umar, do you preach integration or separation?
Neither.
Let's go.
I preach independence. Independence. It's not about integration, separation, because you can't control what people do. Right? That's number one. And number two, I can't control who somebody want to date, sleep, be with. All I'm saying is let's build our own infrastructure. So black people not dependent on white folks for their health, for their food, for their employment, for their mortgage. Independence. Go to a Chinatown. Chinese are independent. Go into a rape. Arabs are independent. They still integrate socially. I ain't got no problem with that. If that's what you want to do, they're going to leave these buddies alone anyway. I'm saying build infrastructure so our people ain't got to depend on white folks. And if you are an integrationist, here's my question. Why is the bedroom the only place white folks are interested in showing their love for black people? If white people love us so much, why is the bedroom the only place we see true integration? Why we don't see it at the bank when we need a mortgage? Why we don't see it with the police when they pull us over? Why we don't see it with the judge in the courtroom? Why we don't see it with the way they treat our kids in the schools? If white people are so in a rush to marry you, because all over TV, all you see is what? Mixed race couples, right? All the commercials, all the shows. If they love you this much, why don't you see it anywhere outside of the bedroom? Because it's a damn scam. They brainwashing black kids into believing you can only be happy with a white person. Genocide for the black family.
Let me ask you about the black man who he feels it's his responsibility to only date black women. What do you say to that man as far as?
That's the man. That's what you're supposed to do.
Okay, yeah. You ain't got no problem. Like
cultural commitment.
Yeah, like
that's what you're supposed to do.
He does not. Like, I would not stick my Peter into
no bunny hopping.
Man.
None. No rice, no ice, no spice, no sand, no salsa.
I also saw on one podcast that the black woman doesn't want the black man because he has not made himself suitable to, be with the black woman. What does a black man need to be in order to get the thing that he feels like he's not getting from the black woman? Because you hear a lot of what I like, the submissiveness and the docileness from the other races.
It's ridiculous for a black man to be looking for a docile black woman, because if she became docile, she would be destroyed in this society. Do you realize how many black women are raped and abused and molested? She got to get tough in order to protect herself. 1 out of every 4 black women are abused. Most of us in this room are going to marry a woman who is abused.
Thanks.
She got to get tough because she ain't got no father in the house. She got to fight back. She ain't got no uncle to go to. The uncle might have been the molester. So we got to realize that our women have been through a lot. And for me, I don't have a problem with black men criticizing black women, right?
Right.
But don't do it in a historically amnesia way. Don't act like you don't know what she's been through.
Right.
Black women been raising 70% of the kids for 50 years by themselves. What you expect her to act like? She been doing your job and hers for 50 years, and you want her to get down on all fours and say, yes, massa. For what? First of all, You can't expect a black woman to go serve a white man and then come home and serve you too. There can only be one king.
Facts.
Which one is it? Because if it's you, why she got to go slave for a white man?
Word. Facts.
So then I have to ask you,
We can't
you know,
have it both ways.
Shout out Reallyfe Street Starz, nigga. Move. Hey.